How's it going, everybody? The misery continues. The misery will not stop these last couple of weeks. It's been a tough road for the Yankees for about the last 2 weeks. And maybe last 3 weeks. And the Red Sox win again as they continue to have the Yankees number in recent games. And I'm pretty much at a loss for word. This is one of the worst games of the year for a lot of reasons. Not only do we have another trash umpire behind the plate, but left the bases loaded multiple times. I try and keep myself pretty cool on here lately. But tonight it's hard not to be. It's not hard not to be alarmed by the way this team is playing. Mark Jones says, can't even be mad. We had our chances. Isaac Garcia says, the offense took a nap. Nick Goldman says, we lost to the Reds twice with the LOL. And James G says, how is Gallo hurting them? Yeah, that epic rant. Gallo kills you on nights like tonight. He's getting tough to watch, man. He's been tough to watch for about almost a calendar year now. Parkinson says, King ahead 0-2. Why throw one in the dirt? I mean, that's a design pitch. I mean, you're trying to strike him out. Catchers should be able to pick that. All right, I want to do the recap because there's a lot of things to talk about. You know, another home run from Stanton tonight. Another good night for DJ. Another tough night for Joey Gallo, who's down to 161. I'll tell you what, I just can't watch much more of him. I just can't. He's making me fat because I use his at-bats to go get a snack. I guess I could do push-ups or whatever, but I'm eating my feelings with Joey Gallo. So before I do the recap, I want to give you guys kind of a quick peek behind the curtain. Not going to be a ton of people on tonight, but we have the regulars on, so I figure I'd talk a little bit about this. Occasionally I get comments that say I should sync my description of the game, my recap, with the highlight reel, and I agree that would be fun. But here's the deal. The way copyright rules work, copyright laws, they're not rules, that's not really possible if you want any kind of detail because copyright fair use laws require every highlight to be under 10 seconds in length. So depending on the length of the game, the entire highlight reel is usually 90 seconds to 2 minutes max. I usually try and write down detailed recaps and descriptions of the game because not everybody gets to watch it live. And because thousands of people consume this podcast via audio only, they don't even have access to the highlights to watch. So I try and make a detailed and when we win as fun and with as fun recap as possible. We get sound effects, music, all that good stuff. But the monologue usually takes 6 to 8 minutes to go through the recap, as opposed to the 2 minutes it takes to go through the recap or to the highlights. So, and also there's not always highlights for everything I want to talk about either. So through trial and error, and years of doing this, I've discovered that the best way for me to do the show as one guy without a producer is to just let the highlights loop while I recap the game. And even though the highlights don't always sync up perfectly with what I'm talking about, I think people prefer the detail. So that's why that happens. Try to think of it more as a post-game talk show or a post-game hangout with some friends rather than a highlight show. That's really not what it is. And Earl of Demise, another big dono tonight, says Glaber needs to be benched for swinging 2-0 with the bases loaded, 1 out. Horrible pitch to swing at, and why are you swinging anyway? Just throw him 2 balls, and you bailed him out. Appreciate the dono.
He's done it again!
All right, so let's get to that recap, shall we? Jordan Montgomery got off to a rough start, put the Yankees in a hole right away. Too many balls in the middle of the plate, 30 pitches in the first inning. Rafael Devers continues to be a Yankee killer. He hit a monster 2-run home run. Will somebody arrest that guy, please? Just put him in jail. Next time he's in New York, I want one of you New York City cops that watch this to follow him around, and if he jaywalks or if he does anything, if he looks like a guy who's stabbing somebody, whatever, doesn't matter. Put him in jail. Can't let him do whatever you got to do. Keep him out of the lineup. Oh, he just kills you. Stanton continues to hit the Red Sox pretty well. He put the Yankees back out in front, 3-2. Opposite field home run, 24th of the season. As his Yankees career continues to unfold, he really is getting better at taking the ball over that short right field porch. He's a huge reason that the Yankees have been so good at home until recently. He absolutely peppers that right field seats. Now, the right field porch. Christian Vasquez tied it up with a home run to left. It was kind of a meatball. Otherwise, Monty was pretty solid tonight. It's technically a quality start. His fastball was up to 96 a couple of times. I thought he made some nice pitches with the breaking ball. He got JD Martinez to strike out on a good curveball in the dirt in a big spot. So he was okay. Gave up 2 monster home runs, though. Final line, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts for Jordan Montgomery. IKF made an outstanding play on defense in the top of the 6th. And also, he hit his 15th double of the season. That's second on the team behind Gleyber Torres. Aroldis Chapman came in for the top of the 7th. He served up the go-ahead home run to Bobby Dahlbeck. That kind of silenced the stadium for a while. Look, it's been a tough week for Yankees fans. I don't blame them, especially people who were there for the Reds matchup as well. I think Aroldis Chapman has kind of outstayed his effectiveness. I'm not usually one of those guys who wants to trade a player just because he struggled a bit, but I think he's better when he's closing, and he's not the Yankees closer. I think he would have success, a little bit more success somewhere else in the closer role. If I were the Yankees, I'd be going after Daniel Bard from Colorado, or maybe see if you can pick up another Clay Holmes type guy with a sinker, keeps the ball on the ground, diamond in the rough type of guy. Garrett Whitlock shut down the Yankees again tonight. I continue to be in disbelief that the Yankees let him go. Bottom 9, infield single by Gleyber Torres, and then after a bad strike call to Matt Carpenter, Boone had seen one too many. There was one low to Judge. He got tossed. He went out and just let the umpire have it. I was hoping it would fire up the team and the Yankees would walk it off, but no such luck. He's going to blow his pacemaker if he doesn't, or if the umps don't get their act together. Matt Carpenter ended up taking one for the team, fastball up and in like the true gamer he is. He just wore it. Then IKF with a little small ball. He tried to sacrifice bunt, but the Red Sox pitcher threw it away, allowed Gleyber Torres to score. That tied up the game and left the Yankees with the bases loaded, nobody out, but they did not score. And that's the game right there. That was the situation. You have to score right there. Clay Holmes came in for the top of the 10th with the Manfred runner on second base. He's been struggling all week. I thought he looked much better tonight. He corrected the control problems. He got 2 quick outs, and then you're going to see a walk in the box score, but it was an intentional walk to Devers. Gave up a single to Martinez, and then got a strikeout to get out of it. Great throw by Giancarlo Stanton to hold the runner at third on that hit by Martinez. Top 11, Mike King got the first 2 outs, but then threw a slider in the dirt that Trevino couldn't come up with, and the Manfred runner scored, and the Red Sox hung on to win in the bottom half. And just like that, the Yankees lose another one. So let's go to the box score tonight while we take your comments. Gary Wanamaker says, do many men left on base? I think he means too many men left on base. When we look at this, you see the team left on base for the Red Sox was 7. Team left on base for the Yankees was 9. It gets kind of confusing because there's 2 different columns. There's the left on base column, which totals up the individual, at bats that the guys have an opportunity to hit runners in, but they leave those guys on base. But the team left on base to end innings comes in at 7 for the Red Sox, 9 for the Yankees. Look, both teams had 9 hits. I mean, they swung the bats okay, but you got to get more hits with runners in scoring position. DJ had 3 hits tonight. Judge continues to really slump. 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts. He's down to 274. Anthony Rizzo, 0 for 3. He's hitting 221 now. Stanton, 2 for 5 with the home run. Rare hit that wasn't a home run tonight. Gleyber Torres, 1 for 4 with the infield hit. Big double play. As someone mentioned, he was up in the count in that situation. Got to see a better pitch. Generally in that position, you'd like to take a strike. Make him throw a strike. If you let them walk you in, you don't have to do anything. Up 2-0, make him throw 2 strikes before he throws 2 balls. That's what I would do. Matt Carpenter, 2 more hits tonight. He's up to 352. You can't get the guy out. I mean, I would just keep running him out there as much as you can. Kiner Falefa, 1 hit tonight, but in the bottom half of the 11th, came up and swung at the first pitch. Did not see anything good to hit, and that's his fault. You got to have better patience there. Joey Gallo. Actually, let's start with Aaron Hicks. 0 for 2 tonight. Did not start the game, but came in. Good to see his leg is feeling better, but 0 for 2. He had some nice cuts, I thought. And then Joey Gallo. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, down to 161, 613 OPS. I mean, you can't keep running the guy out there. You just can't keep putting him out there. How's he killing you? He never does anything. That's how he's killing you. I like Don LaGreca, but he's dead wrong on that one. Super Chat says, we are the 2021 Yankees. I can't argue with you. We've played like it the last couple of nights. Can't say anything about the umps when you leave the bases loaded twice, nobody out. I disagree on that one. We can say something about the umps because the umps were terrible. Umps got to do their job. I think we need to go to robo-umps ASAP. Oops. Let's get some background music there. Evil Magnitude says, why didn't Trevino take the 2-0 bases loaded walk-off? I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it. I'm not sure exactly how I'm not sure. I'd have to look at that again. Wes Nile says, now we need a starter, 2 relievers, and a left fielder. So I definitely think that getting a starter would help at this point. With the loss of Severino, you knew at some point they were going to lose somebody. I like Castillo, but I don't want to give up Volpe. I definitely don't want to give up Dominguez. I'd be okay with dealing Peraza. Just from the 3 players from watching them play, and that's nothing against Peraza. I just think Volpe is a little more compact with his swing, and Jason Dominguez has played really well over the last, I'd say, 6 or 8 weeks, and he's a couple years younger. But Peraza is apparently a very good defender. I'm sure a lot of teams would like to have him. Keith Conklin says, wow, there's a lot of great managers in this chat. Yeah, it's funny. When you lose a game like this, there's a lot of woulda, shoulda, coulda, a lot of second guessing. John F. Kennedy said, victory has 1,000 fathers and losing is an orphan. Defeat is an orphan. And so everybody wants to place blame. You can place blame on Boone. You can place blame on the umps. You can place blame on Gleyber Torres, on Jose Trevino, on the pitch by Mike King. You can blame the Manfred runner. I'm blaming the Yankees leaving the bases loaded with nobody out in the 10th inning after you tied the game. That's, bottom of the 10th, I think. That's what I'm blaming it on. You got to score there. David Ellis thinks an epic collapse is coming. I hope not. Stone Cold says the team is getting worse later in the year, which is bad. I think it's just a slump. I think we're having a downturn. Still have a big lead in the division. I believe the Rays, did they win tonight? I believe they won. So the Yankees still have a 12-game lead in the division. Let's see what the Rays did. Let me just double check real quick. I think they won. Yeah, they beat. Am I looking at the wrong day? Let's see here. I don't see him. I must be missing it. Oh, yeah, they beat Baltimore 5-4. So they're 12 games back. I'm more worried about home field advantage. I think home field advantage is super important. The Yankees can't win in Houston. And unfortunately, we have to go to Houston right after the break. Jason says, many men left on base by 50 Cent. That deserves a laugh. I like that. That was good. Isaac appreciates it too. Guys, this was a tough one. Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This team is playing like doo-doo right now. They need to hit better. Back to what we were saying before. What do they need? Yeah, they probably need a starting pitcher. I would try and remix the relief corps a little bit. I would try and get a fresh arm. I like Bard from Colorado. Any lights out relievers you can add to me would be more valuable than another starter. I think your main starters in the postseason are going to be Cole, Cortez, and hopefully Severino if he's back healthy. I could see him going to Jordan Montgomery if he doesn't wear down. He's been wearing down late in the season last couple years. I think Domingo Germán, as I've mentioned a few times, has potential to come up and help this Yankees either out of the rotation or out of the pen. I think J.P. Sears and Ken Waldachuk both have a lot of potential. So, I mean, I would like to get some pitching, but I think they could survive relying on the guys that they have internally. To me, the offense worries me. When we say we need more contact hitters, that's what we mean. You know, nights like tonight where you got a lot of men on base and you don't hit a lot of clean hits. I mean, you can't get Benintendi because he can't play in Canada. Same for Michael A. Taylor. I think Ian Happ might be the guy for the outfield, and he's a switch hitter. It'd be interesting to see what they do. All right, guys, we're going to call it a night. I was going to take the entire weekend off, but I'm not going to. We can't end the break on a loss, so I'll be back when they win, either tomorrow or Sunday. And if they lose Sunday, then I'll just come back and we'll do like a first half kind of recap. But until then, we're going to keep it short tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. I'll see you next time.